Good evening and welcome to Veterans Voices, honoring those who serve. I'm Shannon Hegy.
I'm Mike Montecalvo. As we approach Veterans Day, we're taking time to honor our local heroes, all with a powerful and often emotional story to tell.
We begin with a 94-year-old local man who has experienced it all. A Korean War veteran, Golden Gloves boxer, school employee, and a 50-year golfer. But his favorite hobby now is something a little unusual.
This father, grandfather, and great-grandfather has an extended family, a neighborhood of dogs who he feeds just about every day on his motorized bike.
We're going out to feed our dogs.
Meet Tiverton's dog whisperer.
Go ahead, you walk. I'll follow you.
Korean War vet Wallace Wally Gagnon Sr.
Do.
How do they know you're coming?
Oh, they see the bike. I love doing this, yeah. I do this every day. You want me to scratch you? But there's two dogs in here. I'm coming.
What do they do when they see you come?
Okie doke, buddy. They start barking. Row, row, row. Nigel, honey, come on.
Wally has a unique ability.
Come here, I want the cookies. One for you. Ouch.
Communicating.
I'll see you later, alligator.
Observing.
Here you go.
And creating a connection with the neighborhood dogs.
Oh, I love them to death. Here you go. Good boy. I love dogs. They see me coming a couple of blocks away and they start barking. Here you go.
While Wally rides his three-wheel motorized bike,
She remembers all the dogs' names. Nigel and Honey. I can't even remember my own name.
his wife Candy walks alongside.
Don't worry, honey. I won't hit you.
Wally has seen it all.
Take the finger. That's a boy.
Before he took up golf,
Okay, yeah.
Wally was an amateur boxer for a while.
What was it like boxing?
You getting smacked in the puss?
That can't be fun.
No.
Wally's life wasn't all fun and games, especially 1951.
Where did you go?
To Korea.
What was that like?
No picnic.
No picnic.
No. I was with the 27 Wilfound Division.
Were you ever scared?
Yeah. A couple of my buddies hit the dust.
They didn't make it.
Nope.
Did you ever think you were going to be one of those guys?
Oh, you worry all the time.
Years later, Wally's found his purpose. His family,
You little baby, you're so cute. Yes, you are.
and man's best friend.
Two.
Or should we say, friends.
Here you go, baby. That's a good boy.
You're 94, you're going to be 95. What's your secret?
Eat meat and potatoes. Vinegar on everything.
Well, I'm sure your family and friends are extremely proud of you, not just for your service, but everything you've done in your life.
Oh, yeah, my family loves me.
I'm sure they do. We're just getting started on Veterans Voices. Up next, a local veteran shares his story, remembering D-Day 80 years later. Back now to Veterans Voices. This year marked the 80th anniversary of D-Day. More than 160,000 Allied troops took part in the invasion of Nazi-occupied Europe, and some of them are still alive today.
Among them, 99-year-old Woonsocket resident Richard Fazio, who piloted a Navy boat on June 6, 1944. Fazio sat down with Ted Nisi to share his story.
Richard Fazio had only just turned 19 when he piloted a boat off the coast of France on June 6, 1944. He's now almost 100, but as you're about to see, his memories of that day are still raw.
But there's a better picture inside.
Okay. At 99 years old, Richard Fazio's memory and his sense of humor
He says to me, Faz, you're going to give me that chocolate bar?
are still sharp.
So I ate the whole bar. Was he mad? Oh.
He's even still mowing the lawn at his home in Woonsocket, the same city where he was born in 1925, one of 8 children raised by 2 Italian immigrants.
So this was your ship?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm at Enrico.
After the U.S. entered World War II, Fazio enlisted in the Navy and was sent to England, where General Dwight Eisenhower was mobilizing troops for a massive assault against Hitler's Nazi forces. Eventually, Fazio and his crewmate Robert Breen got their orders.
Did you know at that point you were going to be part of the invasion?
Oh, no.
Still didn't know?
No, it still didn't know. Then they told us it was going to be a Normandy invasion. I looked at Breen and I said, we're going to really see some action now.
As a Navy coxswain, Fazio's assignment on D-Day was to pilot a boat carrying carrying roughly 40 troops to Omaha Beach, part of the invasion's first wave.
When we got there, they anchored, I think it was about something around 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, they anchored, right? And then about half an hour or an hour before they hit the beach, every ship in that harbor started firing. I'm telling you, it was beautiful. I was amazed. It was like 1,000 4th of Julys. And I looked at Bree and I said, Bree, and I said, when we hit that beach, it's going to be nothing there. This is going to be a picnic, I told her.
But the bombers had overshot their targets, leaving Nazi defenses intact on the coastline.
As we got closer, the bullets were hitting the side of the water and the boat. And all the soldiers who were in my boat, they got up to look, you know. So I had to yell at them, heads down, keep your heads down.
Eventually, Fazio ordered all the soldiers to storm the beach. One of them froze and had to be pushed.
And he's climbing over the ramp. So when he got to the top, I don't know if he fell over, jumped over, or he was shot going over. When he went over, I turned around this way, and I see what was going on.
It was horrible.
I see the boats get hit. They were hitting the obstacles. Finally, it hit me. I said, you gotta get off this freaking beach. So I put it in reverse, and I started heading back.
Fazio didn't realize it yet, but he himself had been shot.
Oh, there it is.
He recovered and later returned to his crew, seeing more combat.
They got the telegram.
Discharged after the war, Fazio remained lifelong friends with Breen and his other crewmates, but he didn't talk about what he'd seen on D-Day for 25 years.
You don't like to talk about it?
No.
Why not?
I just don't.
Yeah.
Because it brings me up about that, what I saw and everything else. I just don't like talking about it.
You know, people are going to watch this story and they're going to say he's a hero. What do you say to that?
No, heroes are all dead. I'm a survivor.
More than 9,000 Allied troops were killed or wounded on D-Day, including 99 Rhode Islanders. 11 months later, Nazi Germany surrendered. Ted Nisi, 12 News.
Thank you for your service, Mr. Fazio. A lunch decades in the making. It's Army versus Navy and some very special conversations. You won't want to miss the stories of these local veterans next. About a year ago, our area was gearing up for the big Army-Navy game being held for the first time at Gillette Stadium.
That's when I had a chance to meet with two veterans who had never met, exchanging war stories over lunch. One veteran Army, the other Navy, 98 and 108 years old, both retelling stories like it was yesterday and hoping to go to that big game.
I'm reporting for duty, Sergeant.
We're here with a 108-year-old and a 98-year-old veteran. Guys, are we ready to talk Army-Navy?
I guess so.
Hey, how are you? Welcome to Tumble Salts. I have a table waiting for you right over here.
Say hello to a couple of rock star veterans.
And I got down off the Higgins boat.
98-year-old Roger Desjardins
Right
and 108-year-old Henry Polichetti. Roger Army, Henry Navy.
I was born on Federal Hill.
Federal Hill. Henry's a French name. What are you doing in Federal Hill?
Henry and Roger exchanging war stories
Thinking about the baby.
over lunch in North Providence.
Could I get the baked haddock?
Sure can.
I was in World War II, and I was with the 43rd Infantry as a heavy water cold machine gunner.
When I joined the Navy, the Japanese just attacked the United States.
Yeah, what was that?
That was in
1941?
1941.
Mr. Polichetti was a radio operator before enlisting in the Navy.
I went down to the recruiting station. They said, "You're in radio. We need you. We need you. Oh, come in. I was in my 20s. I'm 108 now. At 108, you got a long way to go.
More than 16 million men and women served in the Second World War. Fewer than 1 million saw extended combat, including Mr. Desjardins.
Don't tell me to go to hell because I've been there.
While in the Philippines, hunkered down in a foxhole, his life almost ended.
And the next shell we know landed right on the outside of the foxhole. Blew me over and dazed me, and it blew both my eardrums out.
Despite their challenges, decades later, these two war heroes still have a sense of humor. Salud, thank you for your service. What was the best part about serving in the Army?
Well, after it was all over, I would say getting discharged.
That's a good point. I never knew of an Army guy that took a girl away from me. Never.
We needed each other.
That's right.
We needed the Navy, we needed the Army, we needed the Marines.
Mr. Polichetti, are you going to the game?
I wish I could afford to go.
Do you want to go to the game? Did you want to go to the game, or are you going to watch it from home?
Well, if Channel 12 pays for the ticket, I'd probably go. Henry, good luck to you on the rest of the way.
Good luck to you. Our generation.
Yeah. One good thing is we're not in a nursing home. My doctor told me I'm not ready for a nursing home. Keep doing what you're doing. So I take karate lessons.
I didn't want that lunch to end. I could have stayed
so
there
entertaining.
all day. By the way, Mr. Desjardins did end up going to the Army-Navy game.
I bet it was fantastic. Well, still to come, one local veteran honoring his fellow veterans through a remarkable physical challenge. An Attleboro man has dedicated his life to helping and serving his country and community. Now he's looking to help his fellow veterans.
Earlier this year, Navy veteran John Brunelli endured a 24-hour marathon to help veterans around New England.
So this will be my third year doing the Anchor Down.
Honor, courage, commitment. The Navy motto which flows through the veins of the millions of men and women who have put on the uniform.
There is a brotherhood, sisterhood that is amongst that.
However, no matter the branch, veterans are all on the same team.
To help my brother and sisters in the U.S. military who served and is currently serving, it's paramount to me.
John Brunelli was a member of the U.S. Navy Reserves, where he served as a hospital corpsman.
I feel kind of guilty because I never served combat. There are people that have sacrificed so much. You know, it's ankle pain. There are some people that have lost their leg. I can suck it up for a little bit and do another lap. There we go.
Brunelli hoping to help fellow vets by running and walking.
I want to be a Navy SEAL.
In the Anchor Down Ultra Race
Lift, try to lift, try to lift, try to lift.
to benefit New Englanders helping our veterans at Colt State Park in Bristol.
The race is important to me because of the organization we have. We raise money for veterans that kind of fall through the cracks. World's finest Navy.
Brunelli wearing what looks like a combat suit to get into shape.
It's like a sauna. It's a sauna suit with a 25-pound weighted vest. Humidity is my kryptonite. 2.45-mile loop. So you just keep doing this 2.45-mile loop. Every year I finished, my goal is 68 miles because I was born in 1968. I want to swim the deep blue sea. The pain that I experienced, and believe me, you experience pain. Pick up your packs and run with me. Running for 24 hours is nothing compared to the sacrifice and the pain that these families and our veterans feel. I look forward to the event to raise money for our organization and because of that feeling afterwards of accomplishment.
It has been said that success demands courage, grit, and the will to never give up, especially when you're all part of the same team.
New England is helping our veterans. Please donate for our vets. Some gave all gave some.
Still to come, paying tribute to a hero through a unique art form. That's next. A local man is paying tribute to a well-known D-Day survivor and hero.
Although George Luz Sr. has passed away, his likeness was brought back to life in a unique way.
The show Band of Brothers this might sound crazy, but it's something I think about almost every day.
One ingredient at a time.
So I'm doing a portrait of George Luz.
13 in total.
You know, I think about like what these guys went through and it's like, why am I complaining right now?
Precisely placed.
I was trying to think of what ingredient would be best for a military uniform, and it seemed like olive green was the perfect choice.
Creating a unique form of art.
Framed version of it put together and presented to George.
To capture a war hero.
Seemed seemed like a really unflappable guy.
Eric Palmieri from D. Palmieri's in Johnston turns pizza into works of art.
I hope he loves it.
His latest creation, a portrait of a true rock star.
Sense of loyalty and duty and
George Luz Sr.
that bond and that brotherhood, like it's very inspiring.
Private first class with the Easy Company 2nd Battalion in the 101st Airborne Division. Mr. Luz landed in Normandy on D-Day. His son, George Luz Jr.
So what was your dad like?
Well, hey, he was the life of the party, for sure.
The war, no joke. On June 6th, Luz was one of over 18,000 men who were dropped into enemy territory, death staring them right in the eye.
And I've stood on that road, and I've looked at that T intersection where that machine gun was, just bearing down the street, and to realize and to understand, or maybe not understand, how in the world did they have the courage to get up and run down this street with the hail of bullets just ripping it up. Stand someplace where your dad came within an eyelash of being killed.
Over the years, Luz's son got to know a lot of the men who were introduced to the world in the HBO miniseries Band of Brothers. In Bill Guinier's book, there's a part about the reunion of the Easy Company and the memories of the war. The words chilling.
If something comes up that has to do with the war, we look at each other. We don't have to say a word. You give a guy a hug or a squeeze. It's understood. When it was time to raise your right hand to protect and defend the Constitution, he was one of the 16 million American men and women that did that during World War II.
I'm getting it, bud.
80 years later, the younger generation.
This was a lot of fun for me to make.
Paying tribute to the Easy Company.
Did your dad like pizza?
He loved pizza. He'd be so excited that Eric would do something like that.
Just in honor of your dad's service and the 80th anniversary of D-Day, I wanted to present you with this framed photo of your dad's pizza portrait.
Oh, wow. How cool is that?
And then I signed it in barbecue sauce.
It really does capture my dad.
Oh, that's the greatest compliment I could possibly imagine receiving, George.
Listening to all these stories, it's hard to comprehend what these veterans went through.
And seeing the emotion and how difficult it is to still talk about those memories, what they've been through, and we appreciate it so much.
And we honor them for their service. Thank you for joining us for Veterans Voices, honoring those who serve.
And we thank all of our veterans for their service. Good night.